Well, I'm back. I promised I would have a follow up to the one from earlier this evening. This is Jason and the Simpademic, and welcome to the back end of a Wednesday Hump Day doubleheader. And I wanted to kind of expand, and I promised I would, on my first video of the evening there in regards to my gym false accusation scenario. And looking back on the conversation I had with that gym owner, I think there's something else at play here, and it doesn't have anything to do with the usual women's hypergamy thing or women's false accusations or the MGTOW stuff. She mentioned this channel actually, and that particular owner mentioned that people were taken aback by some of the things I've said on this particular channel. And now that I've had a chance to basically kind of calm down emotion, get myself off the edge, I've had an opportunity to kind of take a look at that. And as much as it hurt to have that conversation, I can actually stand pretty proud at the moment. Because if what I'm seeing on this channel is causing women to get offended, that's not my problem. That's theirs. And as I've said before, I call balls and strikes on this channel. And I do a much better job than Angel Hernandez did. As you know, he's probably one of the worst umpires in Major League Baseball history. He was so bad that he was called out by a famous Chicago Bears football legend, Steve McMichael. During the 7th innings, he called out Angel Hernandez from the press box during the 7th inning stretch of a Cubs game and called out Hernandez on the field. And McMichael actually wound up getting thrown out of the game. Rest in peace, Mongo. You were one of the great ones, and that was just another one of those situations. But I'm not Angel Hernandez. I call it straight. And I think I call it pretty accurate. And I think if anybody on either side of the gender divide is getting upset at me for anything that I say on this channel to the point where you're willing to level false allegations against me to get me out of the building, I've probably done my job. Let's get real here. That means I've been effective. I've been an effective arbiter. So no, I'm not going to dump, I'm not going to go MGTOW on you all, because I think that part of the world is fraught with problems of its own. I am, however, going to, as I mentioned, I was going to pursue that online app trainer service. That is still in play. That I'm still going to do. But the conversation, I just was able to replay that conversation in my head, and I figured, and she basically admitted to me that this channel is part of the reason why we got to this point. And so, false allegations from whoever it is, they probably figured was a good solution to get me out of the building. Didn't have anything to do with me being a creep. Didn't have anything to do with me approaching, because I know I did none of those things. Or inappropriate touching, I did none of those things. So make up some trumped up allegations just to get me out of the building because they didn't like what I was saying. And I can look back at myself and I'm like, you know what? In the end, that's actually okay. Because like I said, I call it even here. I call out the manosphere. I call out the black pill channels. But then I also call out the women who are entitled, who act like they're entitled to the absolute best, and who act in terms of hypergamy. I call the strikes on both sides. I don't give one team's pitcher a extra wide strike zone or an extra narrow strike zone just because I feel like it. I do call based on what I see. Some of it is a little bit built on opinion, obviously, but I think that's true for everybody. You know, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. I'm no different. So, upon further review of everything that happened tonight, they success. You know, the women who were upset at what I've said on this channel were successful in running me off, just like the woman in that church 4 years ago was successful in running me off, all because I was not a top 10% man. As I've said repeatedly here, if I'm being generous, my life story makes me a 6. On physical appearance alone, I'm a 5. And one thing that this is not going to do, it's not going to take me out of my belief in my God and Dream Lauren. I think she's still out there. And I can't shut myself off that possibility just because somebody at a gym labeled false accusations until I give up on that. Can't do it. It wouldn't be fair to her down the road, and it's not fair to myself. So, you know, now I'm finally signing off for good tonight. Jason and the Simpademic, part 2 of the Hump Doubleheader. Tomorrow will be Thursday, and I will be coming to the plate with something totally different. So I'm not going to that gym anymore. I'm probably going to be posting at a regular time every day now, because my schedule is going to be a little bit more even. And so I'm going to give you that time right here. It's going to be, I'm going to be posting at 5 p.m. Central every day, Monday through Friday. I've yet to decide on a time for a Saturday or Sunday, but during the week it will be at 5 p.m. Central Time. And I'm doing this on the suggestion of the man whose this channel is named after, Levi Nix. When I was on his live stream today, he got to 190,000 subscribers. Kudos to Levi. But he suggested on that live stream to be, as a YouTuber, to post on a regular basis. Predictably, consistently. It's a consistency game. So those are the terms I've set. At least on the weekdays, it's going to be 5 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday, with TBD for Saturdays and Sundays. I will even set my alarm to that just to make sure I'm here for you guys. So anyhow, Jason and the Simpademic, you folks have a good night. As always, peace out, homies.